Chelsea Football Club are just unstoppable. Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome in. How you doing? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you lot are all doing well today. Welcome to Chelsea News, where I will be talking about transfer stories as we warm into this international break. Loads of things being said about the Blues. It's gonna be a banger, but first, this. Right, I hope you're all paying attention carefully. A massive thank you to Stereo for partnering up with me yet again here on Football Therapy. Stereo and Football Therapy has been a massive success. What is Stereo, you ask? Well, Stereo is a unique live broadcasting app which is kind of like a radio show, but kind of like a podcast with all your favorite content creators talking to each other. It's a totally free application on Android and iPhone, and it gives you the opportunity to interact with your favorite content creators, including me. You make your free account, you make your cool little avatar, and you have the ability to scroll through different conversations following your favorite content creators, and you have the ability to interact by sending in voice notes which they respond to, and you can communicate. I've already done a few shows on Stereo and you guys absolutely love it.
So Ben's really happy to be here. Exactly. I'm buzzing with him, man. He knows how to talk to the press.
Yeah, and you know me, Eunice, I'm into the whole stats and stuff, and when he starts dropping metrics about ball recoveries in the final third, I get all excited. So he's yeah, that's it. So I absolutely love it.
Superb stuff. I'm doing my next show with Eunice from Eunice Talks Football on Wednesday evening. You can be a part of that by simply clicking the link in the description to go follow my profile. It's so much fun and it's completely and entirely free. Why wouldn't you want to do that? Come talk to me and Eunice, hang out on Stereo, enjoy the experience. Click that link down in the description right now. Right then, now you've all been informed of important partnership information, let me tell you about today's Chelsea News video. 4 transfer stories being floated about the news ether that I want to talk about today. Very, very interesting indeed. Subscribe if you're new, drop a like if you love my content or you just want to show me support and be nice. Before we crack into the first transfer story of today's video, shout out for the FA Cup draw. Chelsea's luck seemingly ran out after they drew Porto in the Champions League, and we've drawn holders Manchester City. Wait, are they the holders? No, they're not. Arsenal are. That makes me feel sad. Anyway, Chelsea have drawn Manchester City in the semi-final of the Cup. Gonna be difficult, but if you want to be the best, you gotta beat the best, man. So we'll see what happens. That will be a big test for Thomas Tuchel's tricky Blues. Alright then, let's get into today's first transfer news story. And that's regarding an interesting case, Jorginho. Jorginho, of course, has been a divisive player in the Chelsea fan base ever since he arrived, really. I actually admire him quite a lot. He came in, had some difficulties under Maurizio Sarri with the Chelsea fan base. He was booed a lot. The fans basically used him to take out their frustrations on the manager, Maurizio Sarri, at the time, and he got a lot of abuse that was really undeserved, and it was disappointing to see, but he didn't react. He just got his head down, worked hard, scored penalties, scored a lovely goal at Stamford Bridge as well, if memory serves, and before the end, the Chelsea fans were singing his name, Jorginho! Anyway, Frank Lampard succeeded Maurizio Sarri, also used Jorginho, although he fell out of favour, and Thomas Tuchel has come in and used Jorginho a lot. Reports have suggested that Thomas Tuchel took Jorginho, Kante and Kovacic to a side when he arrived at Chelsea and explained to those three he'll be relying on them a lot. Heavily as free players to play 2 starting spots. Of course, he said in press conferences he sees Billy Gilmour as the 4th choice, and we saw him play in the Cup. We've even seen Mason Mount play in central midfield, who Thomas Tuchel seems to trust a lot also. So Jorginho seems like a big player for Thomas Tuchel, and let's not forget that reportedly he tried to sign him for Paris Saint-Germain when he was coaching over in Paris. He also tried to get Kante and Jorginho. He was just very interested in Chelsea midfielders. And now he has them, coaching them both, and seemingly as well he absolutely loves Mateo Kovacic, who suits his football perfectly. But it hasn't stopped there from being a lot of stories for the last couple of years of Jorginho going out the door, and a lot of it stemmed from his agent talking a little bit too much. But today's latest story is his agent talking yet again regarding potential links to Juventus. I quote the article now. Jorginho's agent said the midfielder would not suit a move to Juventus amid links. The Chelsea midfielder has impressed under Thomas Tuchel, becoming one of the Germans' favourites since his arrival in February. That has not stopped links over a potential move to Italy this summer, with Juventus linked. But the midfielder's agent, João Santos, has said the Serie A giants does not suit Jorginho. Quote, "He is a top player," João told Tuttosport, "but he does not have the right qualities for the current style of game at Juventus." Interesting. When Maurizio Sarri was coaching Juventus, he was all about getting him back out to Italy and winning loads of Scudettos and stuff. Still, he's seemingly just one of those agents that always is talking, a bit like Mino Raiola, I guess. But Jorginho seems to love it at Chelsea. He's always smiling, he seems to be friendly with everyone. And personally, I would be very happy for Jorginho to stay for the remainder of his prime years. Right then, that's a piece of good news. Let's move on to the second transfer story of today. And that is regarding Kepa Arrizabalaga. Of course, kept a clean sheet in the FA Cup against Sheffield United, which probably isn't a massive accolade, but he has been working really hard, having a positive attitude, and I really enjoyed his post-match interview after that game, speaking pretty darn good English. Now, another curious case with Kepa Arrizabalaga. He had a pretty darn good first season at Chelsea under Maurizio Sarri, the aforementioned Maurizio Sarri. And he was a sort of penalty shootout hero in the Europa League and played pretty well. He didn't seem like the best goalkeeper in the league, but some people were putting him third that first season behind Alisson and Edison. Do you know what I mean? We all know what followed. He had a dismal tenure under Frank Lampard, and we brought in Edouard Mendy and haven't looked back since. But Chelsea paid a record amount of £71 million for Kepa Arrizabalaga, and had he not cost that much, he probably would have been gone by now. Chelsea want to recoup value, and they probably want to get him out the door because he's a starting level keeper in another life. But he's at Chelsea earning a lot of wages, and he's a depreciating asset. Now, he's been linked back to a return to Atletico Bilbao, the club where we bought him from. And I'm going to read you an extract from the cited article today now. New boss, Marcelino has ambitious plans at the St. Mameds and has been a fan of Kepa for many years. The report adds that he wanted to take Arrizabalaga to Arsenal when he had talked with the Gunners in England following the dismissal of Unai Emery. Interesting, the new Atletico Bilbao coach was interviewed for the Arsenal job and he wanted to bring Kepa Arrizabalaga there. Maybe that's why Arsenal didn't hire him. Lol 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 lol. Jokes, I don't dislike Kepa at all. It's just a joke. The article goes on and talks about how the new coach wants to bring Kepa back to his former club where he was so highly rated, Athletic Bilbao, gotta say that right. But Chelsea aren't interested in making a titanic loss. I mean, I think they've accepted a very large loss, but the gargantuan one that would probably take, Chelsea is still reluctant. The report suggests Chelsea are looking for £50 million. That's right, 50, which is £21 million off. Considering as well, he plays for Chelsea, he's a Chelsea player, which often increases your value, and he's still got, 4 years left on his deal? 4.5 years left on his deal? So they're probably thinking, look, we've taken 21 million off, you've made 21 million on us when we paid you the release clause. You got a new coach who wants him. Take back Kepa. We'll take the L for that. But to be honest, man, for a while, even 50 million seems like a lot for a player who's not playing and has been really low on confidence, even though he's still highly rated in the game from those who know about goalkeeping. Anyway, I'll keep you posted on what happens with this story. Keep it locked, my dear sweet friends, as we move on to the next transfer story in today's video. And that is regarding big Fikayo Tomori, who's rapidly becoming a fan favourite over in Milan. I'm so pleased / devastated at the same time for this player. Making gargantuan tackles in Europe against Manchester United, really showcasing his defensive ability as well as his recovery pace. The Milan fans absolutely adore him, and it's looking more and more likely that they sign him for the 28 million stated in the deal. I cite today's article now. AC Milan are reportedly increasingly convinced they should pay up for the transfer of on loan Chelsea defender Fikayo Tomori. The England international has shone since leaving the Blues for a loan move to Milan this January, and it arguably looks like an error letting him go. Well, we have only conceded 1 goal to an opposition player, and sometimes you got to go somewhere to flourish anyway, so we'll see what happens with that, but let's read on. Tomori hadn't had that many first team opportunities at Chelsea, but the club could undoubtedly benefit from having him as an extra option as centre-back amid ongoing doubts over the likes of Antonio Rudiger and Andreas Christensen. I mean, I wouldn't worry too much. I genuinely think both those players are going to sign new deals at Chelsea. Let's read on. Still, it's not looking good for the West London Giants, as now Milan seem ever more likely to pay up the 28 million euros required to make Tomori's move to the San Siro permanent, according to Gazzetta dello Sport. Alright, fair enough. It's interesting, isn't it? The thing is, though, that I'm really happy for Tomori, and I don't think he necessarily went there to plan on staying there, but he's gone there, he's learnt Italian, he's integrated well, he's playing well, the fans adore him, the club like him, Maldini loves him. He's probably thinking, Italy's really nice. What? Why would I leave? And fair play to the lad, you know, he could get back into the England team, everything could go well, he could win titles with that Milan team in Serie A. So fair play to him. If he stays, then I'm backing it. But, you know, if Chelsea want that guy, the thing is he the kind of defender that Tuchel wants? We want like ball play. He defends well, good enough, but we want these like ball playing defenders. His recovery pace is massive, so he's good for transitional teams. Chelsea aren't a transitional team under Thomas Tuchel, and if they can generate what they think is a lot of money for an academy product, you know, free money as far as Chelsea are concerned, it's a good business decision. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that down in the comment section below. I will of course keep you updated on this story as we move on to the final story of today's transfer news video, and that's talking about Erling Haaland. Of course, Erling Haaland is the blockbuster story of all transfer stories at the moment. Everybody wants him. Of course, you could say him and Mbappe, but the truth is everyone expects Haaland to move this summer, therefore he's the talk of the town, being linked with Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich, Chelsea Football Club, both Manchester clubs, you know, loads and loads of links. And at the moment, the most momentum in terms of headlines is actually going towards Manchester City, which is incredibly worrying because something that I've maintained here on Football Therapy is if he signs for Man City, the Premier League is dusted. Man City are walking the league without a super striker at the moment. Bring one in, it could cause huge problems for the rest of us. And Thomas Tuchel might have ambitions to win the Premier League next season. He will not like Man City getting Erling Haaland. But today's story is in regards to his father following Chelsea on Instagram. What have I become? To be honest, you guys could have said other things. Micah Richards talking about Erling Haaland to Chelsea after the Sheffield United game in the FA Cup, which made headlines, and this, you know, series here on Football Therapy is me reacting to headlines. But the headline is, his dad has followed Chelsea on Instagram. And you know what happens when a footballer or a family member of theirs, most notably someone like their father, follows another club? You think, well, done and dusted, 6-year deal, Erling Haaland to Chelsea, you know, and the rest follows. Personally, I've never read so much into this, but, you know, if it means something to some people, then it might mean something to you. What do you think? Does it mean anything, Erling Haaland's dad following Chelsea on Instagram? Do you think it's likely Chelsea will sign him? Because we've seen stories around the media saying Roman has promised Tuchel that he will sign Erling Haaland if we get top 4, and that we're favourites, and then Haaland likes Chelsea. And I've reported on all these headlines. If you're interested in this stuff and my reaction to said headlines, make sure you're subscribed and you have the bell notifications icon clicked. But anyway, comment down below your thoughts, feelings and emotions on all the stories I've spoken about in today's video. I want to hear it, my friends. Drop a like if you've enjoyed the content, and also remember to go check out Stereo. It's super fun. Make sure you're present for my next show with Eunice. It's gonna be a banger. Click the link down in the description to check out Stereo now. That's it, my sweet friends. Enjoy the football, and I will see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.